Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, I hope that you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. I went back on in time and I went to November of 2021, where I posted this post. And I said, being an XRP holder truly opens your eyes to how corrupt the US is. The SEC has constantly tried to protect the banks, and it's clear with its blatant attacks on crypto and specifically DeFi. XRP will prosper, and I have zero doubt about that. The future is crypto, and the SEC can't stop it. Mind you, this is November of 2021, guys. This is before FTX. This is before all of the noise around the SEC really kind of started to heat up. Now, my thought process on this continues. The SEC is bought and paid for by the big incumbents to protect their monopoly system that they have going on right now. They get rich and wealthy off of individuals tying up money in the banks. They continue to screw the little guys while they continue to load their pockets with more and more money. And these regulators, Gary Gensler, I'm so damn tired of hearing about Gary Gensler trying to protect investors. I mean, who the hell is this guy, right? He has over $100 million plus in net worth, which, by the way, is managed by Vanguard, one of the top 3 asset managers that own the largest percentage of almost everything around you. Do you honestly think that this regulator gives a damn about you or me? No. Over here, this was from January 28th. We saw that the SEC crypto enforcement skyrocketed in 2023 with more than a 50% increase in crypto-related enforcement actions compared to 2022. And it seems as though the SEC is on par with trying to increase the 2024's by 50% over 2023. And we already saw all of the major enforcement actions that the SEC took in 2023. Yeah, they're not slowing down at all. How do we know? Well, check this out. So over here, we got a full breakdown from the SEC on these new rules. The SEC Gov has adopted new rules for dealers and government securities dealers. Now, the vote breakdown was 3-2. Hester Pierce and Mark were 2 of the dissenting, and Gary Gensler being the deciding vote. More to come on what this may mean for crypto. Now, a lot of people are pointing at the XRP ledger and saying, what the hell is going to happen with the AMM? We will get to that here in a second. But also here we have a full breakdown actually from Hester Pierce in her dissenting statement on the SEC Gov's newly adopted rules for dealers and government securities dealers. Hester Pierce says they reflect little thought regarding their practical application in the crypto markets. The rule covers providers of liquidity in crypto asset securities. Not only do the tired questions about when a crypto asset is a security remains, but the rule raises new questions about how the rule will apply in the context of automated market makers, aka AMMs. For example, given that an AMM is a software protocol, who will have to register? In light of the difficulties that other would-be crypto registrants have encountered with the SEC and FINRA, will those persons even be able to register rather than engage seriously with these questions? The commission hints that certain persons engaging in crypto asset securities transactions may be operating as dealers already. And what's crazy about all this, guys, I really want to talk to you all because I feel as though we're all in the same situation here. Being an XRP holder for so damn long, do you not think that I want to see XRP trading at $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20? Listen, I want XRP to be the number one crypto in this market, skyrocketing in value because we already know about the utility behind it. But look at what's being put up in place. Like, these are massive obstacles, barriers. What does that tell you? What does that tell you about XRP? What does that tell you about Ripple? Is all of this a big show? Is all of this by plan? We have no idea. We could speculate. We could speculate on this all day long, but this is clear to me at this point in time that the regulators and the big incumbent bankers, they're all working together to try to kill DeFi, try to kill a lot of these initiatives around this market because, again, they are terrified of what's happening. Now, does this call for concern around AMMs and XRP being a security and all that stuff? In my opinion, no, it doesn't. XRP is cleared until 2026. Beyond that, AMMs, guys, this is a global initiative. Unless every single nation out there is going to follow Gary Gensler's path, the US is the only one that this is really hurting. But what's even crazier about all of this, right, is that we know that the AMM got approved, right? Straight from the mouth of a Ripple employee, boom. Dramatically improved liquidity is what she says they're expecting. Here is a full breakdown. This is translated. XRP Ledger has been operating the world's first DEX since 2012, and it is an order book format, CLOB, DEX. If AMM, the automated market maker, is added here by amendment in the future, it is expected that it will become the most powerful DEX of CLOB plus AMM and dramatically improve liquidity. This was September of 2022. We have been waiting on this for a very long time, and it just reached consensus, which means guess what? It's now approved. We can see that coming to the XRP Ledger in the next week, 2 weeks, maybe even more. It doesn't matter. It's already approved. But now we have the SEC going after it. And this is wild to me. And I think that Anderson really puts this into perspective. The question will be, will it only apply to the US? Because in that case, the SEC will have a real problem. And yes, it will, because guess what? They can try to block things in the US all day long. They can continue to try playing this egocentric war path that Gary Gensler has started. But at the end of the day, the only people that are going to miss out is the retail investors in the US and the US as a whole. We have here very important exchange from today's SEC hearing where SEC staff assert that the new broker-dealer rule will make all LPs, liquidity providers, and AMMs into securities dealers with a registration requirement. Think about how damning this is for the DeFi space. And what's crazier about all of this is I just made a video the other day where I paraphrased a post for myself back in the middle of 2023, where we started to see the heat really being put on DeFi protocols by the SEC right around the same time that banks were getting shut down. And also, by the way, we know that a lot of those banks were funding crypto initiatives and startups, and they got forced to shut down. They did not go belly up randomly. They didn't run into any problems. No, they were forced to shut down. Which means, guess what? Operation Choke Point 2.0 is still there. And it seems as though with this new role, it's even more prominent now than in 2023. This is absolutely crazy to me. This is insane. And it's not me trying to make, a big deal out of this. No, this is a huge deal. And Bill Morgan, Belisarius, guys, this is why XRP holders are outraged by what's going on here. Listen, if it wasn't for the SEC, I'm telling you guys right now, everyone can go around the space and talk about how the SEC didn't do anything to XRP's price action, and it was Ripple dumping on everyone, that it was this, it was that. The SEC absolutely killed 2021 for XRP. I don't care what anyone else says. Everyone has their own ideas on this. Everyone has their own opinions on this. But when you go after a project and say it's a security, by the way, this is before the SEC made a complete laughingstock out of themselves by not going after FTX, by not going after Celsius, by not going after Voyager. This is when everyone actually took the SEC seriously. They say, XRP is a security, we're going after Ripple, FUD ensues all over X, all over YouTube. Everyone is talking negatively about XRP. You have people calling for a 5-cent XRP, XRP to zero, XRP's dead, XRP's done. You have it getting delisted on all major exchanges. What the hell do you think is going to happen to XRP in that bull run? Do you think that's going to hit new all-time highs and go parabolic? No. People can say, oh, that did nothing to XRP. XRP, it's doing what XRP wants to do because market makers. No, listen, I don't care about that noise. We know that XRP was stopped in its tracks. It was a massive obstacle that XRP had to go over, and it still did a 16x. But I'm saying this because when we look at what's happening around this rule from the SEC, it is clear that XRP and Ripple are still being targeted in some way, shape, or form. And the SEC is ready with a new dealer rule aimed at liquidity providers and AMMs. This is quoting Anderson's tweet. And here we actually have it. The release explains that a crypto automated market maker might have to register as a dealer under the final rules. How can a software protocol register as a dealer? It can't. This is why nothing surprises me anymore. This is way beyond the SEC's their jurisdiction in terms of regulations. It is crazy that this is now coming into play. In addition to harming the market participants who find themselves transformed into dealers, this rule harms the broader market. It penalizes liquidity provision, which means there will be less of it. This is a massive stab at the heart of this market. Liquidity is so damn crucial. This is what they want, though. This is what they're trying to achieve. And by the way, big shout out to Fred Rispoli. Guess what? We got a huge update in the SEC versus Ripple case. In fact, everyone thought that it was a huge win by the SEC because now Ripple has to turn in more documents and be more transparent. Ripple has always been transparent. They don't even have to be transparent. They are a private company. But either way, they are trying to slow things down yet again. And when I say they, I mean the SEC. My updated thoughts. Well, shoot, I was hoping the SEC was moving on to other pastures, but I guess not. There is still a chance that the SEC eventually concedes after the final order on damages. Remember, that's probably coming midsummer, but I'm starting to feel this is getting appealed. Again, an order from the Second Circuit doesn't happen until mid-2026, so no reason to panic as an XRP holder, and also Ripple are still in a good place. Anyway, as I suspected, this damages portion of the case has taken on much greater significance because the SEC is coming after how Ripple does things now after the MSJ ruling. I didn't really understand why Ripple fought the discovery see below because keeping it hidden would have allowed the SEC to sue Ripple on post-compliance sales at a later time. Again, it just seems as though Ripple wants to get this out of the way, but it is what it is. Anyway, Ripple should have immediately structured any sales in a way it believed took those sales outside the scope of the MSJ order the moment the order came out. We'll see how well it did that in the upcoming briefing. The ultimate takeaway is that the SEC is still going after the jugular for Ripple to restrict/kill the institutional operations. This whole briefing is going to focus on Ripple's current operations and how they are different from what got whacked in the MSJ. The stakes are still very high for Ripple, not XRP, unfortunately. And yeah, it seems as though they want to try to put Ripple out of business. They are going heavy after Ripple, and it all really kind of stems from going back in time and reading and listening to some of the interviews between Brad Garlinghouse. Big shout out to Ashley Prosper 1 over on X. We have XRP was made to be part of the next financial system, and they all know it. And the big thing about this, right, is that they don't want to have a company like Ripple spearheading this new financial system. They don't want them to be a part of it, even though they are. They don't like that. And when I say they, I mean the big incumbents. The incumbents don't want this new revolution to happen. It's the same reason why I say this new idea of level the playing field, right? Bankers hear that and they're panicking because they are going to lose out on a significant amount of fees and money, especially around that $156 trillion cross-border payment market, which is projected to be $300 trillion in the next 6 years. So do you honestly think that they want to get cut out? Do you think that they want to have a level playing field? Absolutely not. Listen closely to this video, though. It's about 4 minutes long, and it's Brad Garlinghouse specifically explaining to you why the incumbents hate Ripple and hate XRP.
There are investors who are interested in, frankly, speculating on where XRP is going to go. And, you know, to the extent we are successful solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem using XRP and integrating XRP into those flows, it's going to drive a lot of demand for XRP. Again, I said earlier, you know, the market cap of XRP today is around 25 billion. You're solving a $27 trillion problem. You know, I'm not saying it's going to 27 trillion, mind you. Right? You take a lot of friction out of that system. But, you know, when I think about the other use cases and consumer use cases, I think there are a lot of other use cases where we think XRP could be a very efficient digital asset. Ripple is focused on payments. If we think about it kind of the same way, you know, Amazon was really good at books. The name of the company actually was Amazon Books. It wasn't Amazon. And then they decided, hey, let's go do another vertical. And when I think about what Ripple's trying to do, we want to be extremely good at solving a very large problem around payments and liquidity on a global basis. We are actively frankly, investing in other use cases for XRP. And those aren't things we will pursue, but some of them will be consumer centric. Some of them will be in marketplaces. But those are things that, we will, partner with or help entrepreneurs go and build solutions that take advantage of, with a very performant asset relative to most of the other digital assets out there. When we talk about Jamie Dimon, we first have to recognize where he sits. He sits at the top of the global financial infrastructure. There are a few banks, of which JPM is certainly one, that make billions and billions of dollars of profit by virtue of that perch. 99.9% of banks don't make money in this ecosystem in terms of cross-border payments. Jamie Dimon makes a technical term of a shit ton of money by sitting there. So when I hear Jamie Dimon saying he's a fraud, I think to myself, well, of course he's going to say that. He's talking. And by the way, there's also people who conspiratorially, he's trying to talk down the price of Bitcoin so JPM can buy it. Like the idea that JP Morgan isn't actively working in the blockchain and Bitcoin space is not true. Frankly, I don't mind sharing. There are about 15 senior JP Morgan people at Ripple's offices this afternoon. Now, unless JP Morgan's going to fire them.
Does JP Dimon know that?
Apparently not. Anyway, so look, that's my thought on the whole JP Dimon thing. I do think there are people who are going to say this is, in the same manner, a very smart investor said to me, in 1997, the whole West Coast was long Amazon and the whole East Coast was shorting Amazon. We saw how that worked out. And his point was basically, look, the West Coast is obviously bullish and, there's some that are very cynical about these things and, we'll see how it works out. On the risk factor, just very briefly, because I don't want to go on too long, but I think what we have to remind ourselves is this has to come back to utility. What problem is the digital asset solving? If it's solving a real problem and it's creating value by solving that problem, then there will be value in the token.
Now, of course, the end of this is just really kind of describing a few things, but at the end of the day, what he says is 100% true, right? These big banks are going to be the last ones to adopt and utilize any sort of technology like this. And the reason why is because they are eating. Guys, they eat a very significant amount of the cross-border payment market in terms of fees. They don't like these new technologies. They don't like what Ripple is doing. They don't like any of this, especially DeFi. Listen, why do I think that DeFi is getting targeted? Why do I think that this new rule's coming out now from the SEC? It's because DeFi. Guys, why the hell would I go park my money in a bank, right? And earn a fraction of a % on my money when I can go and tap into Coinbase that is FDIC insured, right? Have USDC locked away earning 5% per year. Guys, it's FDIC insured. $250,000 earning 5% per year. But I can go to the bank, which technically is FDIC insured as well, and earn 0.5% or less when inflation is well over that percentage. Let's just go to the minimum that they're trying to target from the Fed, 2%. Guys, I'm not even earning 2% on my money. I'm losing money still having my money parked in a bank. Now do you see why the bankers hate DeFi? Now do you see why the bankers are trying to go after the space so damn heavy? Now do you see why the regulators are being bought and paid for by these big banks? And I say that openly because I truly believe it. There's absolutely no way Jamie Dimon sitting on the sidelines not talking to regulators. It's the same exact way that back in the middle of 2023, we had Jamie Dimon calling for the SEC to ban short selling of banking stocks on the stock exchange. Think about how insane that is. A banker, a CEO at the largest bank globally is calling on regulators to literally ban short selling of banking stocks. Yet we're supposed to sit back and say, oh, the system's not rigged, it's not corrupt, it's not manipulated. Get out of here with that. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, so notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And also, with that being said, if you guys do want to go check out NordVPN, 64 to 72% off right now utilizing my link. Guys, I'm not sponsored. I'm not bought and paid for. This is strictly an affiliate deal. It helps the channel run. I do get paid from anyone that does purchase through my link. If you guys do want to go check it out, it is a solid service. I use it. There's a ton of great benefits with the ultimate package, but you don't need it. If you just want a VPN that has malware protection and trackers and ad blockers, the standard for $2.91 a month is perfect. But if you guys do want to go check it out, links down in the description below as well as in the comments below. And with that being said, thanks for watching, guys. This has been Nick. Peace out.